Been well over 3 years since my last excavator video, so let's take a look at the new one. So this is the Huina 961-100S, which was formerly the Huina 336GC. This is a fantastic hydraulic escalator, and the cool thing about this is that, like, really it doesn't need anything. There's nothing that needed to be done to this right out of the box. Kind of like 1894 that I reviewed a few years ago. It doesn't need anything, but there are some things that I did that made it arguably better. When it comes to the actual excavator, there's really nothing that I've added to it. I've actually taken away a couple of things for good reason. This one really doesn't need anything as far as trying to get it to dig better. It's long. Very long. You might notice that compared to some other videos from like Toucan RC and maybe even some Huina videos and other people's videos, the pump for the hydraulic system is not running all the time with this. It's only running when I give it an input. I will have a separate video on radio programming. The absolute first thing that I did to this machine was I got rid of that gigantic nickel metal hydride 10,000 milliamp hour battery that it came with, because it charges incredibly slow. You can get these little 2S LiPos that put out 7.4 volts, which is the same as what the stock battery was, and it already had the XT30 connectors, which is what this machine comes with. This next upgrade really doesn't need to be done. It came with this FlySky FS-SR 12 channel receiver, but the problem is it's on ANT protocol, which only works with ANT protocol transmitters. FlySky also makes the FS-IA 10B, which is a 10 channel receiver, but there is a way that I've heard of pairing two of these together using the S-Bus ports on there, and I get to use my Radiomaster TX16S. The biggest benefit is that this is super easy to program. This thing has 32 different mixes that I believe can actually be expanded upon. I can set however many mixes I want under one channel. It's ridiculous. I can modify curves. I don't have to plug anything into the computer. While I can plug this into my computer and actually map things out that way, it just made life a lot easier. And I found that the gimbals on the Radiomaster are a lot more sensitive. This one's very limited on what it can do. That being said, this does not need more than 12 channels. It's already great right out of the box. I wanted more though, because I just can't leave anything like it is, and that's fine. Now the radio does make a big difference in how sensitive the actual gimbals are, and that's great. It makes it feel a lot better, but the actual mixes and how it is mixed in the radio is going to be a big way of making the thing actually operate better, and I'll have to have a separate video because it just takes too long to explain all that. Let's check out the next thing I did. I took out the battery tray because this thing overheats very, very quickly, especially with all of these wires in here, plus the receiver and whatever other electronics you want to put in there. If you have that little plastic battery tray in there, it really limits how much airflow you can get. And there's a plan I have eventually of putting a fan in here that can actually be a proper exhaust, because this metal enclosure, you can imagine, heats up quite fast. I never showed the 1894 actually digging in some dirt, so let's go take this thing outside and I'll show you exactly how strong this thing is. It's almost too powerful. I misspoke earlier on the nickel metal hydride battery. It gives you 90 minutes of runtime, which hour and a half, not bad, pretty decent I would say. The thing that's not decent is that to charge that nickel metal hydride battery, the 10,000 milliamp hour, it takes 9 hours. That's why I do the lipos. It just makes a lot more sense. And when they die, sometimes they go out in a bang. This excavator does not need anything at all. It digs incredibly well, and any sort of issue there was with digging, that was me, that's operator error. I really only want one other thing for this excavator, and that would be a claw, which we're working on, getting to it. To be completely honest, I can't really recommend the 961-100S. I really can't, because of the fact that the 1894 and the 1550, they already do such a good job. To a point, there are some things that hydraulics are going to do better. It is stronger, it is heavier, it is going to perform better under more strenuous conditions. It's cool, it is very cool, I'm very happy with it. But if you're looking at getting into miniature excavators, that thing's $1,800, or at least it was when I purchased it, and that was on sale. That's a lot of money to be dropping. And quite honestly, if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't. I would buy the 1550. If you've already gone through the 1894 and the 1550, then sure, maybe now it's time to go to hydro and get something that's already pre-built for that. Then you can start modifying that and add more things like other hydraulic lines for, let's say, a hydraulic claw or whatever modifications you want to do. You don't really need that though. The 1550, it's already a nice heavy machine. I think it actually uses the same screw servos as the 1894 and vice versa, but it's all metal. It's got a metal boom, metal stick, metal cab. The whole thing is just heavier, which is really what you want in these things. I appreciate you guys coming back after 3 years of no excavator videos. So if you want to see more on this, I'll be doing more, and it won't take me 3 years to make another video. We'll see you again real soon.